Fat patterning. Have you noticed we change shape as we age? Some people more than others. I'm going to do a couple of videos on fat patterning. This one is dedicated to the midlifers out there, but I'm also going to do one on the fat patterning that happens with children and adolescents, because they also go through some big changes, right? And we never know whether we should be concerned about it or not, but that video is coming. Today I want to talk about an enzyme called LPL, lipoprotein lipase. Enzymes just make other things happen. Don't worry about it. LPL. LPL, all you need to know about LPL is it's an enzyme and it helps cells store fat. Okay? LPL helps cells store fat. So if LPL is more active, you're storing more fat. Let's go with that. So in menopause, LPL activity, remember it's storing fat, reduces in the lower body and increases in the upper body, especially the mid body. So if LPL activity is reducing in the lower body, we see it, ladies' legs, you have big legs, their legs get thin or skinnier, and their midsection gets thicker. Men too, they get more fat around the midsection and also in the chest area. Now, what else does LPL do? So LPL in pregnancy increases, when you are pregnant, it increases, LPL activity increases in the lower body, and ladies get, the butts, the thighs, the quad, they gain fat there. But once the baby is born, and I've seen this many, many times, LPL actually reduces in the legs, and increases, the LPL activity increases in the breast tissue. So I've had a lot of clients that were totally terrified. They gained so much weight in their lower body and they were scared it was never going to come off. And then, boom, it comes off. That's one of the reasons that LPL activity that's making you store fat is increased in the lower body during pregnancy. Once the baby is born, you get big old boobies. Yo-yo dieting, off subject here, not this is more cortisol issue, but I've seen this a lot as well. Chronic dieting, yo-yo dieting, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, actually increases fat patterning in the upper body. Now, coming from the fitness world, I see this all the time. Cute little fitness girls, absolutely cute little belly shirts, they're just adorable, right? Dieting after dieting after diet after diet, and all of a sudden these chunky little chicks with really thick waists. So one of the characteristics of yo-yo dieting is that the fat that is regained starts going into the midsection, just the torso generally, and that is not LPL. That is more to do with cortisol, the stress hormone. Seen that a lot. So let's go back to LPL. So estrogen inhibits LPL activity. So estrogen inhibits LPL activity. So when estrogen starts declining, LPL activity can increase and fat storage can increase. So the fat that estrogen once held below the belt, as estrogen falls, that fat reaccumulates above the belt. That's the way I've described it many times. Also, if LPL is more active and more fat is being stored in the cell, there's less available for fuel. Well, if there's less available for fuel, then we get fatigued and we get tired. So it's not, we're gaining weight and we know we should exercise more and we're tired. Well, doesn't that make sense? If the fat's going into storage, it's not available to be used as fuel. So yes, you're tired and you're hungry. And this is also when eating behaviors change and appetite and hunger goes up. Now, we're not usually hungry for an egg white, are we? So actually, we're usually snacking on the fun stuff, the sugary stuff, the sweet stuff. Well, what does that do? If you know me, you know what that does. That increases your blood sugar. And you know what that does? Increases your insulin, spikes your insulin, I should say. So LPL activity going up because of hormones. We maybe start snacking more, we're a little bit tired, not exercising as much. Are we joining the dots here? I love joining dots. We're joining the dots here. Now we're snacking on the wrong stuff. Blood sugar goes up, we spike insulin. And you know, the one thing that excites LPL more than anything, insulin. So you can also see how we do have some control over this fat patterning if we know what's going on. Men, let's talk about they did studies on men with no testicles, and the men with no testicles actually gained weight with a female-like distribution pattern. Get that. Also, what happens with men, so remember we were talking about hair a few videos back, and how testosterone can be converted into that DHT and it can cause hair loss. Well, with men, testosterone can be converted into, more and more testosterone is converted into estrogen by the enzyme aromatase. Well, testosterone has been converted into estrogen, so now we're starting to get like fat patterning, not female, but more, fat tissue on the chest, man boobs, I guess they'd call them. And that's one of the reasons why. But also, if more testosterone is being converted into estrogen, there's less free testosterone running around. So our guys don't feel so good about that. One reason our body shape changes with age. Fascinating, right? But you can see the conflicts here, but you can also see through our nutrition, there's ways of controlling this. Let's say mitigating this. You want to know more about this? Here I am. But also, you know where I read all this? I read it in my own book. It links in my bio, but if you like this sort of information, this is what I write about. Anyway, that's it for now on fat patterning. But again, watch out, because I am going to do one on children, because I think that's really, really fascinating, the changes that they go through as well.